Section 3 Value-Driven Delivery PMICP. In this section, we focus on how Agile teams deliver real business value, not just complete tasks. The idea is to constantly prioritize what matters most to the customer, deliver in small increments, get quick feedback, and improve continuously. Value-driven delivery ensures that every sprint creates something useful and measurable for stakeholders. Value-driven delivery, MVP, and incremental value. Agile focuses on delivering value in small, useful steps instead of waiting for a full product. We use MVP, minimum viable product, to release only the core features first, learn from real users, and then improve step by step. This saves time and cost, gives early feedback, and ensures we build what customers actually want. Example: a ride-sharing app first launches with booking and payment only and adds chat, ratings, and surge pricing later. Value-driven delivery, MBI, minimum business increment. MBI means delivering the smallest piece of real business value to the customer. Unlike MVP, which is for new products, MBI is used in ongoing improvement. Each MBI should be linked to a clear business outcome like revenue, customer satisfaction, or efficiency. Example: a bank adding PDF statement download, a small change, but it gives direct value and convenience to customers. MVP versus MBI quick summary. MVP is mainly used for new products to test an idea with early users. MBI is used for existing products to deliver small but real business value to customers. MVP focuses on learning and validation, while MBI focuses on measurable business impact like revenue, efficiency, or customer satisfaction. Value-driven delivery, Moscow prioritization. In Agile, we can't do everything at once, so we use the Moscow method to decide priority. Must have equals essential, should have equals important, could have equals optional, won't have equals not for now. This helps teams and stakeholders agree on what to build first and focus on maximum value in each sprint. If you want it in one line or Hinglish, tell me. Value-driven delivery, WSJF. WSJF helps us decide what to do first based on maximum business impact. We calculate it using value, urgency, risk reduction, and effort. The feature with the highest WSJF score should be prioritized because it gives the best return in the shortest time. If you want an even shorter one-liner or Hinglish version, just tell me. Value-driven delivery, Kano model. Kano model helps us understand what makes customers satisfied or delighted. Basic features must be there, performance features improve satisfaction, and delighters surprise users. This helps teams balance essential functions with features that create a wow experience. If you want it even shorter or in Hinglish, just tell me. Value-driven delivery, MVP case example. This case shows how a fintech startup avoided high risk by launching an MVP instead of a full product. Instead of waiting 6 months, they released only core features like secure login, card storage, and QR payment. This helped them go to market faster, reduce cost, and get real customer feedback early. If you want a more shorter version or Hinglish, just tell me. Value-driven delivery, sprint execution, and feedback. In the first 3 sprints, the team focused on setup, basic UI, and QR payment. By week 10, they launched the MVP and gathered real user feedback. This feedback helped them identify improvements like better UI, spending history, and UPI support, which guided the next development priorities. If you want it even shorter or in Hinglish, just tell me. After getting user feedback, the team released MB is like transaction history, UPI integration, and cashback. As a result, the app achieved 30,000 downloads in 30 days, added customer-driven features, and reduced burn rate by 25%. This shows how MVP validates the idea and MBI helps grow the product with continuous value. Value-driven delivery. Conclusion. This section shows that MVP helps test ideas fast and MBI helps deliver value continuously. With prioritization tools like Mosco, WSJF, and Kano, Agile teams focus on what matters most. The key message is, don't do everything, do the right things first, learn faster, and deliver smarter. Value-driven delivery. Conclusion. This section shows that MVP helps test ideas fast and MBI helps deliver value continuously. With prioritization tools like Mosco, WSJF, and Kano, Agile teams focus on what matters most. The key message is, don't do everything, do the right things first, learn faster, and deliver smarter. Business value metrics. Feedback sources. To measure customer satisfaction, Agile teams use user interviews during sprint reviews, support tickets, and App Store ratings. These inputs help teams understand real user sentiment. For example, adding a live seat map in a travel app improved user happiness and reduced booking drop-offs. Business value metrics. Customer retention. Customer retention shows how well our product delivers real value. We track it using metrics like churn rate, repeat usage, and customer lifetime value (CLTV). When teams release improvements based on feedback, retention increases and churn reduces, as seen in the EdTech example. Traditional EVM tracks project progress based on cost and schedule. In Agile, EVM is adapted to focus on real customer value. Instead of only budgets, teams use metrics like story points completed, velocity trends, and cumulative flow diagrams to track progress and value delivery. Business value metrics. Value-based EVM example. In Agile, progress is judged by business value delivered, not just tasks completed. In this example, the telecom company measures success based on how much planned value is actually realized. This helps align project delivery with real business outcomes instead of just productivity. Business value metrics. NPS Net Promoter Score. NPS measures how likely customers are to recommend our product. Users rate from 0 to 10, and we calculate NPS by subtracting detractors from promoters. In Agile, NPS is taken after sprints or releases to quickly check if new features are actually adding value and to take corrective action early. This example shows how a bank used NPS to measure real customer value. After simplifying payments, NPS improved from +18 to +34. Based on feedback, the team fixed bugs and rolled out the feature across platforms, which finally improved customer retention by 12% in just 2 months. Business value metrics. Other Agile metrics. Beyond customer satisfaction and retention, Agile teams also track lead time, cycle time, throughput, defect rates, and innovation rate. These metrics help measure how fast we deliver value, how good the quality is, and how often we innovate. Agile contracting and governance. Traditional contracts. Agile works with change, but traditional contracts are usually fixed in scope, cost, and time. They are very detailed, include penalties, and suit waterfall projects where things are predictable. In Agile, we need more flexible contracts to match iterative and changing delivery. Agile contracting and governance. Agile contracts. Traditional contracts don't work well in Agile because they restrict change and collaboration. Agile contracts focus on outcomes and value, allow flexibility, and build trust between client and vendor. Common types include time and materials with a cap and incremental delivery contracts where payment depends on delivered value. Agile contracting and governance. Key contract elements. This slide explains advanced Agile contracts like target cost and Agile MSA, which encourage shared risk and long-term collaboration. It also highlights key elements of a good Agile contract: clear definition of done, regular reviews, shared risk management, and shared responsibilities so that both client and vendor stay aligned on value. Agile contracts focus on shared risk ownership, not blame. Both client and vendor win or lose together. This builds trust and collaboration instead of conflict and rigid enforcement. Risk categories explained simply: scope risk, handled through iterative delivery and regular backlog reprioritization. Budget risk, controlled using capped T&M contracts or performance-based incentives. Timeline risk, managed by tracking team velocity and using rolling forecasts. Quality risk, reduced with early testing, continuous integration, and frequent feedback. Key message for audience: Agile contracting doesn't remove risk, it distributes risk intelligently and manages it continuously through transparency, collaboration, and adaptability. Agile risk sharing uses joint tools like shared risk registers, common governance boards, and KP is linked to business outcomes. This builds higher trust, enables faster conflict resolution, and ensures both client and vendor stay aligned to real business goals instead of just contracts. In this case, a retail firm chose a fixed scope contract, but it failed because Agile needs flexibility. Changing UX expectations and customer feedback made the rigid contract risky, leading to missed deadlines and limited adaptability. To solve the fixed scope issue, the team moved to a hybrid Agile contract. They broke work into increments, ran 2-week sprints, allowed flexible backlog within limits, capped the budget, and added incentives for early delivery. This balanced flexibility with control and improved collaboration. Each increment was reviewed and reprioritized after DMOS. Based on early feedback, the checkout flow was redesigned by Sprint 3. As a result, the homepage was launched in 1.5 months and bounce rate dropped by 35%. The hybrid Agile contract delivered strong results: only 5% budget overrun, 40% faster time to market, and 20% higher client satisfaction. Key learning is that Agile contracts don't remove control, they replace rigid rules with structured flexibility and regular touchpoints. This slide wraps up Agile contracting and governance. The key idea is that Agile governance is not about strict control, but about enabling collaboration and adaptability. Agile contracts balance structure with flexibility, build trust between client and vendor, and focus on delivering real business value, not just completing paperwork. Governance in Agile means alignment, transparency, and continuous learning, not rigid rule enforcement.